Hello, my name is Ryan. I'm going to be painting. So I'm actually going to be finishing this one up. Yeah, like may look finished, but it is now going to go out into the world and be observed by people. So I need to clean up the edges because this is not nice looking. And there's just an added dimension. So I'm going to be rocking 3 brushes, my little water cup, and 3 paints. And as indicated in the title I'm going to use on this, I'm going to talk about a very interesting weekend I had. So I had an opportunity to really kind of like dig into emotional regulation and kind of related, or I guess so I'll just jump into it. So I was watching Blues Brothers with my son over the weekend, and having a good time watching it. But then I started getting texts from my friend, and she's going through a hard time. She's trying to decide is it the right time to put her dog down or not, and it's a very traumatic thing. And I've gone through all sorts of traumas in my life, and honestly, putting my dog down was like that. So I found myself kind of reliving that event while kind of walking her through the process and trying, being an empathetic friend. And around the time the credits were rolling on the movie, I had tears just streaming down my face. Because it's sad. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And for me, it was compounded by the way other things in life at the time. So it's recalling it it's a bit much. But credits roll and he looks up and he's like, oh. So I took the opportunity to show him look, I'm having to kind of relive this event that was exceptionally traumatizing for me so I can properly be a friend and offer advice that will actually be helpful. And one of the things when you're overcome with that much emotion is you don't let yourself suppress it. Just write it out, breathe through it. We feel all of those emotions, the good, the bad, indifferent, for a reason. I don't have to ruin our day. And just breathe through it. Let yourself feel it. Go sob into a pillow if necessary. Yeah. And also, clearly talking about it for me helped immensely. This is probably the first time I've talked about this event without instantly crying, to be honest. And so, as I was trying to regain my composure, because it was intensity, I was able to utilize the skills I've learned in therapy to regulate my emotions while also explaining to him in real time how I'm regulating my emotions by talking about it, allowing myself to feel all that pain and just letting it come out. Breathe through it and understand that it's part of the process. And the shitty part about real traumatic events is it's always going to hurt. And that's the good thing. Because honestly, if it didn't hurt, it wouldn't remind you of all the good times. And that's the thing that sucks when you lose somebody that's like tied to a lot of the positive in your life. It's especially when it comes down to a dog. So like this is specifically like this portion of the video, specifically to people who got dogs in their like early to mid 20s before they had a family. It's like that's when a dog becomes your dog. Like that's like with my dog, I got him, I think I was 22, 23. Went through addiction, kicking addiction, death of loved ones, dealing with the death of a loved one, allowing myself to find love again, going through that, getting married, having kids, going through so much. And when you're tasked with coming to terms with it's time to let go of that person, that being that was like truly the only unconditional love that you have and support. And like, no matter how shitty the day is, you just come back and be like, it's all good. It's like, hey, how's it doing? Rub my belly, you know? It hurts. Back to the parenting aspect. My kid, he's difficult. And he has some empathy issues. And he's very resistant to therapy. Like, he's to the point where I was trying to teach him how to do proper squats and coordinating the breathing, and he just held his breath because it reminded him of therapy. And that is such a common thing. Like, so many people, even like the most rational people who are advocates of therapy, will get to a point where it's like, they're just going to tell me to breathe. What does that do? It's like, that does everything. It does everything. Having a proper breathing technique is critical. Oxygenates the brain, allows you to think more clearly, etc. Let's see, got the teals. So, okay. But it was kind of shitty for him because this is his 13th birthday. And it's just like, welcome to being a teenager. Here's a huge lesson in emotional regulation. But I would highly encourage all dads out there, open up like that to your son. Let him see that we're vulnerable and that we can actually handle it. Because I think that did so much progress in the parenting realm as far as his understanding that, look, just because you're having a bad day, just because like something's making you think of something that you don't like, doesn't have to ruin it. You can just breathe through it, accept it. And like, it was nice because most of the time having to do those parenting things, it's usually pointing out something that he did. And then he's all grumpy because it's just like, you're just giving me shit again. Like, when Yeah, so take the opportunity. Ride that entire emotional wave, because that was a big one. Like, I had like tears just straight streaming down my face, and even afterwards I had to go like sob into a pillow. I hadn't felt that in years. Oh, I hope she's doing okay, because like that's fucking rough. Dogs, they don't make it easy now, do they? Up until the end, they're just spark plugs of personality. Just look into your eyes and go, yeah, miss that dog. Like I said, just enjoy it, even though it's painful. Because shit, if it wasn't painful, then it probably wasn't that good. And it was fucking wonderful having that dog. And I can sympathize heavily with my friend right now, because similar dynamics, but even worse, because like my dog at least was at the point of like fully disabled. Like, he declined really quick. The thing that I didn't do proper was allow myself to grieve. I was instantly had to be on a plane the next day and do the whole family thing and be a man about it. Be a man about it. So, I mean, I honestly challenge all the men out there who have kids. Be about a man about this. Find something that triggers you like this. Have that conversation with your kids. Let them know it's okay. You don't have to man up and be a douchebag. Man up by learning how to enjoy your emotions, not letting them control you. Because honestly, even though I'm thinking about one of the most horrible things that I've had to deal with, I'm going to have myself a good day. Alright, that's done for red. And you know what? I want to turn this one off because I also had a funny morning watching Michelle McDaniels, and I want to talk about that video. So I don't do that well. And doing a couple more colors and get this finished up. Anyways. Hope you all enjoyed my vulnerability. And I hope you take my advice. Like, you'll do it. Deal with it. It's fun. Like, I don't think I've ever had that much of a connection with my kid without him being a dick about it, you know? Anyways.